Test. 1, 2, 3.
Test.
Test. 1, 2, 3.
Test. Why can't I hear you?
Test.
Oh, now I can. Okay,
Test.
test. We're getting audio. We're getting camera.
Our speakers come to this fight. Who offer we look at stakes. I'm on guitar and stage when you're older to see look at the
They were wrong.
he grew up to get 30 cents.
He's really been some ball hunters. A lot of games. They eat not even all.
Obviously, 115 yards per game, and on the other end, the Bearcats are one of the best rushing teams in the nation, averaging 214 rushing yards per game. It's truly a clash of forces. What does Cincinnati have to do to exploit this Houston defense?
Really, I think you got to run up the middle. Houston's given up a lot of their rushing yards through up the middle runs. Avoid your outside zones. Play vertically and south, up and down. Go in a straight line. You're going to move the ball.
Now, Cincinnati defense under D. Tyson might have struggled allowing 439 yards per game, which is the third most in the Big 12. Last week, as you mentioned, they held Miami out 220 rushing yards. What do they need to improve on this week?
I think that you need to improve in the secondary, right? You're giving up a little bit too much space. You're giving up those big plays. You're not playing aggressive on the boundary. You play more aggressive on the boundary, you're going to limit those easy throws. You're going to limit those big plays. And you're not going to give up, those long play touchdowns that we've seen them give up so far this season. You've got a strong front seven. Play to your strengths. Make your strong seven get pressure, or make your front seven get pressure. Play aggressive, play up. Do not give them any cushion.
Well, it's the Battle of the Cats here on Bearcast Media. Kickoff will begin momentarily. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcast Media. At the 26-yard line, sending out the Bearcats offense led by quarterback Brendan Sorsby, the transfer from Indiana. 7 starts there. So far, he's on a hot start for the Bearcats with a completion percentage of 63%, also throwing for 6 touchdowns, averaging around 289 yards per game for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Sorsby's been a good transfer portal addition so far, coming over from Indiana after the departure of head coach Tom Allen. He found his new home in Cincinnati, and he's really been putting up numbers, 17 in pass yards out of the entire country.
For Cincinnati, 3 receivers to the left, Corey Kiner in the backfield. It's going to be handoff to Kiner. Tries to find the left side, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of a couple of yards by the Houston defense. It'll officially be marked as a loss of 2, and it looked like the first person there was Jamal Morris, the linebacker, who had 10 starts last year for the Cougars. It'll be 2nd and 13 at their own 23-yard line. 2 receivers to the left. Corey Kiner in the backfield, Sorsby in the gun. It's called Johnson in motion. Sorsby's going to pass. He drops back. He's looked. He fires, and it's caught by Joe Royer, and the ball comes out. And they're going to say incomplete. The officials officially mark it as incomplete. It looked like Royer had a chance, but the ball just slipped out of his hands.
Yeah, he went into contact heading towards the sideline, and I think as he was trying to come, into possession with the ball, ran into the Houston secondary defender, pushed it out, and it went flying back towards the line of scrimmage.
It'll be 3rd and 13 at their own 23 for the Bearcats. 14-12 left to go here in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right, and there's a stoppage on the field.
The previous play is a further review. Going on football is an incomplete pass.
And the officials, they're going to review this call to see if Royer did fumble or was it incomplete. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcast Media. You're listening to Big 12 football. And welcome back to Nippert Stadium. The officials confirmed the call of an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 13 for the Bearcats at their own 23-yard line, 14-12 left to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Swordsby in the gun. In the backfield, it's Evan Pryor, the running back transfer from Ohio State. He gets the handoff right up the gut. Pryor looking for a lane, and looks like he's not going to get the first down, short of about 3 yards. And it looks like Coach Satterfield is going to send out the special teams unit to punt this one away.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with the decision of the run on 3rd and long. But I think Scott Satterfield is trying to play the field positioning game. He trusts in his defense. He's going to get a good punt with experienced punter Mason Fletcher. Hopefully pin them down inside the 15. And you're going to look to stop him and flip that field position with a 3-and-out.
And looking at Mason Fletcher, the senior, he has 6 punts that have been 50 yards or more this season, including 6 punts inside the 20-yard line. Fletcher set up at his own 18, gets a snap. He's going to punt it away. Back to return the punt for the Cougars. It's Mekhi Muse, a transfer from Georgia. Muse trying to make a man miss at the 25. He falls down, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And this will send out the Houston Cougars offense led by quarterback Donovan Smith. We really didn't get a chance to talk about him in the pregame show. But, Justin, what stands out about Smith to you?
Yeah, Donovan Smith, he's a pretty decently heralded draft prospect. I mean, he's projected to go about the 6th, 7th round, late day 3 right now. He's a height, weight guy. He's got the ideal NFL size. Really, really strong arm. He's played a lot of college football. He's top 10 in all of college football in pass attempts. He's seen a lot of looks. He brings that experience to the table, Chris.
Cougars have it at their own 28-yard line. Smith in the gun. He's going to pitch it to Stacy Sneed, the running back. Goes left side, but he can't get nothing, brought down by DN Eric Phillips, who had 2 sacks in the Battle of the Victory Bell, the redshirt senior here from Cincinnati.
Yeah, opening up with a pitch, not going necessarily too aggressive there from Houston off the rip. I was looking for a potential play action. We'll see what they dial up on 2nd and long.
Smith has trips to his right, 1 receiver to the left in motion. There's one of those receivers. Smith has it. He's going to hand it off to the left side to Sneed. Sneed trying to find a lane, gets past the 25. And gets right back up to the line of scrimmage. And it will be 3rd and long for the Cougars at their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and 10, obvious passing down here. I expect them to try to go something towards the sideline, outside the numbers potentially. Just something you can go pick up that 10, not looking for too much more. You're just trying to look to keep the drive alive.
Houston this year, they are 12 for 44 on 3rd downs for a 27% conversion rate. Bunch formation for the Cougars. Fans on their feet here at Nippert Stadium. And there's a stoppage on the field. And it looks like the timeout might have been called. Here comes the official announcement by the referee.
Cincinnati. Their first of the half.
So Cincinnati burns their first timeout. Not an ideal spot to use it with 12:10 left to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 10 at the 28 for the Cougars. Justin, what are you running here? What do you like to see out of the Cougars on this play?
I would look at some type of concept to get to the outside of the numbers. I like maybe a switch release. You get the guy in the slot, Jonah Wilson, a redshirt freshman. Maybe try to have him switch, go on a corner to the out, and you can put him right. I mean, the first down marker is about at the 38-yard line. You could just have him run the straight 10-yard corner. Get there, switch him with maybe Joseph Manjack, the X, in the middle to go up the middle to draw that safety out so you have one-on-one in the slot.
It's an empty backfield for Smith. Fans getting loud here at Nippert Stadium. 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Smith has it, drops back to the 20. He's going to fire across the field. Intercepted by the Bearcats. It's Josh Minkins. His 2nd interception on the year. Bearcats get it right back.
Yeah, you saw there just a simple curl pattern. Curl on the outside, post in the middle. Donovan Smith read the safety, tried to go up the middle. Minkins undercut that one perfectly, and the Bearcats take it away.
Smith has thrown his 4th interception on the year. Another note, last year for Cincinnati, he threw 3 interceptions. He went 16 for 28. He also had 2 touchdowns, but the offense was really a struggle in that game. For the Bearcats defense, Josh Minkins gets the 3rd interception for the team this season. That sends out the Bearcats offense at the Cougars' 45-yard line. 12:05 left to go in the first quarter. Bearcats line up with 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It's Henderson, the sole man. In the backfield, it's Corey Kiner. Sorsby in the gun at the 50, calls a man in motion, entering the backfield. Sorsby has it, fakes the pass. Pump fakes, fires across the middle. It's caught by Jamoy Mays to the 25. Jamoy Mays trying to bounce outside. And he's brought down at the 25, a gain of 20 for the Bearcats.
You had a good play. You fake the guy in motion. You keep Houston's defense, they eyes in the backfield, trying to see what the guy in motion is going to do. Sorsby ends up play action going towards the middle. That's a good call.
And there's going to be roughing the passer call on Houston, so that'll advance the Bearcats even further. Couldn't catch the number, but costly penalty for the Cougars early on in this game.
Yeah, and penalties, they just set you back way too much. You can't have early penalties, and you can't have a lot of them. And so far, we've seen Houston make some mistakes.
It's going to be on Michael Batten, the linebacker, senior from Houston, Texas. And this will move the ball up to the 12-yard line. Bearcats officially in the red zone. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right in the backfield. It's Corey Kiner along with the fullback. Sorsby in the gun. And someone jumped on the line. It looks like it may be offsides on the Bearcats. Both sides kind of pointing at each other, saying each team committed the foul. Officials discuss, and it looks like the Houston DN jumped. So it's a false start on Philip Wouter, but it looked like he tried to react to the Houston DN jumping, but just couldn't result in getting the call.
Yeah, that's one of those tough calls for the referees where you have to make a decision on who moved. I thought, like you said, the Houston defensive end had jumped first.
Sorsby in the gun. He has it. Hand off the Kiner left side. Kiner trying to find a lane at the 20. Tries to stiff arm man, but he's going to be pushed out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a loss of a couple of yards for the Bearcats, a loss of 3, and it'll set up 2nd and 18 for the Cats at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was a good play by Michael Batten. He stayed home on that one. It was a zone read. Batten read where Kiner was trying to go, broke through the line, and pushed him out of bounds.
11:05 left to go here in the first quarter. Bearcats looking to capitalize after the forced turnover, thanks to Joshua Minkin's interception. Sorsby has trips receivers to his right, 1 to the left in the backfield. It's Corey Kiner in the gun. Sorsby gets the pass. He's going to drop back, fires left side. He wants Henderson in the end zone. Toe tap, and he's in for the touchdown. Xavier Henderson puts the Bearcats on the board, 6-0, 10:46 left to go in the first.
Yeah, Brendan Sorsby sees a one-on-one with Xavier Henderson on the left side. He's like, so you're 6'3". I'm going to throw it up to you. Go and get it, big fella. Xavier Henderson, no problem beating one-on-one coverage. Keeps his feet in bounds, and a great play.
Xavier Henderson has his 2nd touchdown on the season. He came into this matchup 6th in the nation receptions with 23, and him and Sorsby, they've been a great connection so far this season for the Bearcats.
Yeah, I mean, you really saw it last week against Miami, Ohio. He had 10 catches. I mean, they were just linking up any single time imaginable. And now, getting an early groove in this game, potentially another big day for Xavier Henderson and Brendan Sorsby.
And Sorsby really reiterated the fact that the Bearcats have to have a fresh start and a hot start if they want to stay in games. It's really important for the team to set the tone in the match.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see teams early on in games just trying to maneuver the ball down slowly, methodically, and get points on a rushing play or a field goal. Brendan Sorsby wants that shot play. He wants that big play touchdown. If you set the tone with an early big play, Houston can get a little demoralized. Now they have to play from behind 7 early on.
And Hawks, PAT converts. Bearcats up 7-0. They go on a 3-play, 45-yard drive that results in a 19 touchdown from Sorsby to Henderson, thanks to the forced turnover by safety Joshua Minkins. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcast Media. Cats up 7-0, 10:46 left to go in the first. And welcome back to Nippert Stadium. Bearcats up 7-0 after the touchdown from Xavier Henderson. To kick it away, it will be kicker Nathan Hawks. Cougars with 2 return men deep. We man Jack. And Brian Massey, the kick is away, and it's going to sail through the end zone for a touchback to send out the Cougars offense again. And quarterback Donovan Smith, after he threw the interception to Josh Minkins, it's going to be very important for the Cougars to try and get a rhythm if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, Donovan Smith has to get into an early rhythm with those short throws. The first passing attempt for him went down the middle for about 15-ish yards. I'd like to see just get confidence building in your veteran quarterback. Short throws, screens, build up those completions, and that's how Houston's going to be able to move the ball.
Smith in the gun. He's going to hand it off to his running back. Goes to the right side, tries to find a lane, but he only get a couple yards all the way up to the 28-yard line. It will be second and medium for the Cougars. $10:26 left to go in the first quarter. Cougars have it at the 28-yard line. Smith in the gun, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Smith he drops back to the 20, looking right side. Pump fakes under pressure. He's going to escape out the pocket, and he's going to run for it all the way up to the 31-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds into the Bearcat bench by Josh Minkins, and it'll be third down for the Cougars.
Yeah, Minkins making plays all over the field. First the interception, now going after Donovan Smith as he tries to escape. Smith, he's an athletic runner, but wasn't able to outrun Minkins to the sideline.
It will be 3rd and 4 from the 31-yard line. Empty set for the Cougars. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right in motion. There's one of the receivers. It's the QB keeper up the middle. Smith looking for the first down and offer the second attempt. He's down right at the marker, right at the 35, and the officials will signal to move those chains.
Yeah, Smith, just a hard-nosed runner. Didn't go down at first contact, kept fighting. He's a big guy. He's 6'5", 235. I mean, he's not easy to tackle when he's running downhill.
And looking at Smith, he has 20 non-passing touchdowns since 2021. Cougars get set, 9:17 left to go in the first. Cats up 7-0. 3 receivers to the left. In the backfield is running back. It's a low snap. It's a QB keeper. Smith tries to go right side to the 40, and he's swallowed up around the 42-yard line. First one there looked like it was Brian Sims III, the redshirt freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, making the tackle. Donovan Smith in the gun. He's going to fake the handoff, rolls out. He's under pressure, fires it off in the flat, intended for receiver, and it's a big hit made by Derek Canteen. Intended target, or at least making the reception, was Parker Jenkins, the running back.
Yeah, that's a good play by Jenkins to even catch that football. Was behind him and low. Smith had to jump to get that one out of the backfield. Jenkins just got leveled the second he caught that football.
It's 3rd and 4 for the Cougars at their own 41-yard line. 8:10 left to go in the first. Another empty set for Donovan Smith. Entering the backfield is Stacy Sneed. 3 receivers to the right. Smith planted at the 35. He drops back the pass. He's looking. He fires across the middle for Sneed. He makes a reception for the first down at around the 47-yard line. It's another first down for the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, attacking the middle of the defense. No one accounted for Sneed until it was too late. He already caught the football and had the first down. Good read by Donovan Smith.
And Donovan Smith, he's one of 18 active Power 4 quarterbacks with 6,000 passing yards and 40 touchdowns since 2021. Cougars have it at their own 47-yard line. They have a jumbo package on the field. That's a handoff to Jenkins, and he's brought down, swarmed by multiple Bearcats for a loss of 2 yards. First one there, it's the cornerback, Jordan Young. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Cougars at the 45-yard line. Just around 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Be an empty backfield for Smith. Two receivers both sides. Smith planted at the 40-yard line. Claps and gets the snap. He's thought about the pass. He's going to run to the left side, trying to find a lane. But once again, the Bearcats defense is there to meet him. Looks like Joshua Minkins and Jordan Young once again.
Yeah, that was a broken down play. It was a design screen on the right side to Marquis' shoulders. The Bearcats were all over it. That was going to be picked, probably taken to the house if Smith decided to throw that. He had to pull it. He had to run. There was just nothing for him.
That's another third down for the Cougars. Fans starting to get on their feet here at Nippert Stadium in what is a blackout. Smith in the gun at the 40-yard line, three receivers to the right. He drops back the pass. He's looking for a man. He steps up in the pocket trying to escape, and he's brought down as the turf monster got him, and the ball came out, but he recovers it at his own 38-yard line. It will be a loss of 7, and the Cougars have to punt this one away.
Just more mistakes by the Houston offense. Donovan Smith, like you said, he got swallowed up by the turf, dropped the football. Luckily for him, he's able to recover it, and they have the punt opportunity. That was dangerous.
And the punt it away for the Cougars will be Liam Doherty, the freshman, averaging around 40 yards per punt. He's planted at the 23-yard line at the left hash. 5:27 left to go in the first quarter. Bearcats up 7-0 thanks to Xavier Henderson, 19-yard reception touchdown. And Doherty punts it away, high to the right side, calling for a fair catch at the 20-yard line, and the Bearcats will get it, and they'll send out the offense after this media timeout. Cats up 7-0 here on Bearcast Media. Test. 1, 2, 3, test. Welcome back to Nippert Stadium. Bearcats have it at the 20-yard line. Sorsby in the gun in the backfield. It's going to be Corey Kiner. Sorsby hands off to Kiner, tries to find a lane, tries to cut it back to the 25. Kiner pushed up to the 29-yard line, a gain of 9 on that carry for the senior running back and the hometown kid.
Yeah, Kiner just a strong runner. Has something that a lot of NFL scouts like, contact balance. He doesn't go down at that first hit. He's going to keep running. He's going to stay up, and Kiner fights through multiple Cougar defenders for that one.
And last year versus Houston, Kiner had 23 carries for 129 yards and 2 touchdowns. 4:42 left to go in the matchup. It's 2nd and 1 for the Bearcats. Sorsby claps, gets a snap, hands off the Kiner, but this time he's going to be brought down for, looks like a loss of a yard. No, he's third and short for the Bearcats inside their own territory at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that was Anthony Holmes who first got in there to get Kiner in the backfield, just breaking through the interior of the offensive line. Nowhere for Kiner to go.
It'll be new package for the Bearcats, inserting substitutions. 4:10 left to go in this match. Bearcats looking to win their 5th straight against Houston. The last time these two teams played in Cincinnati was for the American Athletic Championship in 2021 that sent Cincy to the playoffs, winning 35-20. 3rd and 2 at the 28 in motion as Royer left to right. Sorsby's going to pass, drops back, thought about it. He's going to roll out the pocket. He's under pressure. He's going to fire to the sideline. It's incomplete. There's contact, and it's going to be a DPI committing the crime. It's Hershey McLaurin. Intended receiver was Gavin Grover, the freshman tight end from Bay Village, Ohio. Lewis Center, Ohio.
Yeah, that would have been a tough play for Grover and Sorsby to connect on anyway. Sorsby was rolling out to his opposite side, trying to get that to Grover on the sideline, but McLaurin made it easy for him. He's going to push down Grover before the ball even gets there.
That's another penalty for the Cougars. They had the roughing the passer call in the first drive, and now they get the DPI call against them. This will move the ball up to the 34-yard line. The Bearcats inside their own territory. 3:45 left to go in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. In the backfield, it's Corey Kiner planted at the 26-yard line. Sorsby calls Tyron Smith in motion, but he gets a snap. He's looking, fires across the field. It's caught by Joe Royer at the 50. Royer is going to be brought down inside Cougars territory at the 44-yard line. Another impact player for the Cats, and the transfer from Ohio State making another huge play.
Yeah, that's a great play by Brendan Sorsby. Surveying the right side of his field, first read corner isn't open. Second read, the little out route wasn't open and works his way back to the middle of the field, and Royer's open.
Royer leads the Big 12 tight ends in receiving yards, and touchdowns. Coming into this matchup, 11 receptions for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bearcats have it at the 44. It's a handoff to Kiner up the middle. Can he find a lane? Corey Kiner to 30. He's going to go to the 20. Chase down. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Bearcats. Corey Kiner, 44 yards to put the Bearcats up 13-0.
Kiner broke through the middle of the defense. There was no one up the middle, and once he got that open space, no one was going to catch him in the open field.
Corey Kiner, he is the second highest graded Big 12 running back behind R.J. Harvey. And this kid, he is a gamer. Coming in this matchup, averaging around 7 yards per carry, and he gets it done for the Bearcats on that drive. 44 yards to the house. Hawks get set for the PAT. 2:56 left to go in the first quarter. The PAT is up. And it's right down Calhoun Street, and good. Bearcats go up 14-0 early on in the first quarter. 2:56 left to go in the first. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Big 12 football on Bearcast Sports Radio. Test 1, 2, 3, test, test, test. And welcome back to Nippert Stadium. Bearcats up 14-0 with 2:57 left to go here in the first quarter. And looking at the Bearcats, as you mentioned the pregame show last week, they held Miami to 24 rushing yards, the fewest by an opponent since allowing just 5 to Memphis back on Halloween in 2020. Looking to complete that momentum against the Houston Cougars as Hawks kicks it away and towards the end zone. It'll be returned by the Cougars, trying to find a lane, and he's brought down at the 18-yard line. But a flag comes in right as the play concluded. Let's see what this flag will be. Returning it was Brian Massey, the senior. As we await the call from the officials. Bearcats have 2 touchdowns on the day. Xavier Henderson with the 19-yard reception.
Personal foul, face mask, receiving team, number 54. Finish the goal, first down.
That's going to be a face mask on the Houston Cougars. They're pushing back even further. And so far, this Houston offense has struggled with Donovan Smith under the helm, Justin. I mean, just looking at it, Cougars really couldn't get nothing going. We saw the QB runs kind of play an effective role on it, but overall they just couldn't. They haven't found the rhythm yet. 13 total yards in this matchup compared to the Bearcats, 118. As this will put the Cougars at it, their own 9-yard line. Smith in the gun, 2 receivers to the right. It's going to be a handoff, and Stacey Sneed tries to find a lane. Sneed gets up at around the 18-yard line. He's going to be a yard short of the first down marker. Sneed had 82 rushing yards and a touchdown versus Rice last week. The junior from Arlington, Texas, gets the carry on that play. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the 18-yard line. Empty gun for Donovan Smith. Quad receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The lone man, it's Jonah Wilson. 2:20 left to go in the first. Smith has it, tries to fire to screen, the left side. It's intended for Stephen Johnson, but breaking up the play. It's a great defensive effort. It looked like it was Kalen Carroll, maybe?
Yeah, Kalen Carroll broke through. They had the quad receivers over there all for blocking on the design screen. Kalen Carroll said, I don't care about your blocks. I'm going to break through and tackle this for a loss.
It's 3rd and 5 from their own 14-yard line. Fans on their feet. Here comes an audible by Donovan Smith. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Running back in the backfield off his right hip. Smith gets the snap, drops back. He's going to run it. He has a lane. Donovan Smith gets past the 20. He has the first down up to the 23-yard line, a gain of 9 on the ground.
Yeah, it looks like Smith, he recognized an opening in the middle of the defense and audibled himself, called his own number, design QB draw, and takes that one for the first.
Last game against Cincinnati, Smith had 88 rushing yards off 13 attempts, and we talked about it. You know, he can run the ball, 20 non-passing touchdowns since 2021, and he can pose a threat with his feet. Smith in the gun, hands off. Nope, he's going to keep it. Smith looking across the field. He has Manjack, and he's got him at the 40. Bobbled up, but he still recovers it, and he's brought down at around the 25-yard line. Smith the Manjack, a big play for the Cougars.
Yeah, Manjack running a post, breaks the two high safeties down the middle. That's what it's intended to do. Smith put that one on the money. If Manjack didn't bobble it, he's probably in the end zone celebrating.
Manjack, he has a catch in 20 straight games, dating back to his days at USC. Houston has at the Bearcats 25. Smith in the gun, hands off to Sneed, finds a lane. Sneed up to the 20, and he's brought down and pushed up to around the 17-yard line with 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And what could be the last play of the quarter? Let's see if Houston will call another play. Clock takes down to 5 seconds, and it looks like that will be it for the first quarter here at Nippert Stadium. Bearcats up 14-0, but the Cougars are threatening. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcast Sports Radio. Second quarter to begin momentarily. And welcome back here to beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio. It's a nice sunny day on the 21st of September. Second quarter about to begin momentarily. Cougars are threatening after a big 52-yard catch and throw from Smith to Joseph Manjack. Cougars are looking to respond after the Bearcats had a 44-yard touchdown run by running back Corey Kiner. Head coach Willie Fritz in his first season for the Cougars, 32nd overall. And in his last 12 road contests, Fritz is 11-1. Empty gun for Smith. It's a QB run to the left side, tries to find a lane up to the 15. He's brought down by Corleone. It will be a gain of 1, and it will be a first down for the Cougars.
Yeah, short start yardage situation. They didn't need to gain a whole lot. That's a pretty safe play call. You pick up the first down. Now you've got more plays to work with your short end of the field.
First and 10 at the Bearcats' 15-yard line. 14:30 left to go in the second quarter. In motion is receiver right to left. It's a handoff to Sneed. Tries to bounce it outside. Makes a cut, but he slips on the turf. It'll be gain of a yard for Sneed. It'll be second and long for the Cougars.
Yeah, he tried to cut it upfield. Logan Wilson had to contain. He just slipped, tried to cut that a little bit too tight. The turf can catch you sometimes, especially at Nippert Stadium. It gets slippy sometimes.
It does. With this warm weather, the humidity is also playing a factor. Three receivers to the left for the Cougars. In the backfield, it's Stacy Sneed, the running back. Smith in the gun, planted at the 19-yard line. Smith has it, drops back, looking, fires across, and it's almost intercepted by the Bearcats. Intended target was for Stacy Sneed on what was a Texas route over the middle, but just a little low on that throw.
Yeah, a miscue on the accuracy of Donovan Smith. Kind of a tough play because if he actually does lead that out to his receiver, Stacy C was going to get popped by the safety running down. He had to make a decision, elected to throw it where only Sneed could get to it. Sneed just couldn't get there, a little bit out of his reach.
3rd and 9 for the Cougars at the 14-yard line. Trips to the left. Smith has it, drops back, into fire for his running back, and it's incomplete. Pass is broken up by Jared Bartlett. Intended receiver, I believe, was Stacy Sneed, the running back.
Bartlett out there in coverage, picking up the running back out of the flat. And a good play. Smith threw it high. Bartlett tackled low and dropped.
The Cougars will attempt a field goal. It'll be a 32-yard field goal. For the kicker, Joseph Kim, 2 for 3 on the year, and right in the middle of both hashes. Good snap. Kick is up. It's on its way. And it's no good. He pushed it to the right. Cougars come up empty-handed. Make it 2 for 4 on the year for Joseph Kim. And looking at the flags, there's not much wind coming in. If any, it's coming from the east to the west. So that would have helped Kim out a little bit. But overall, he misses the kick, and the Cougars empty-handed again.
My favorite saying, what do college kickers do, Chris?
You tell me.
They miss.
Bearcats up 14-0 in what is the Battle of the Cats. The offense will come out on the field after this media timeout. They'll have it at their own 20-yard line. You're listening to Big 12 football on Bearcast Sports Radio. And we welcome you back here to Nippert Stadium. It's also family weekend here at the University of Cincinnati. A lot of parents coming down here making the trip to Cincinnati. And what is a sellout crowd here at Nippert Stadium with a capacity of just over 38,000 and the theme of a blackout.
Yeah, and they did a pretty good job. I don't see much red, much white besides for the small Houston section. Cincinnati fans typically listen to the theme pretty well. I mean, when we have the whiteout for the opener, I mean, it's like a snowy blizzard out there, Chris.
And Cincinnati fans are always passionate. We've seen it with the Bengals, the Reds, overall passionate fan group here at the Cincinnati area. It's going to be a handoff. This is Evan Pryor getting the carry, and he'll go up to the 20-yard line, a gain of 0 on that carry. Evan Pryor is the only Big 12 player with multiple 60-yard runs, including one last week against Miami, Ohio. They went 64 yards to the house.
Yeah, Pryor's your change of pace back. He's that big play waiting to happen, the speedster. when you want, just make Houston put up a different look against the run game, you put in Evan Pryor. When you want the bell cow, you put in Corey Kiner.
Play action. It's going to be a dump off to the right receiver. Number 14, Barry Jackson Jr., the redshirt freshman from Allenwood, Georgia, gets a catch. A gain of around 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Bearcats. 12:50 left to go in the second quarter. Bearcats facing a 3rd down. They disperse from the huddle. Evan Pryor is the running back. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Play clock at 10 seconds. Sorsby's playing at the 20-yard line. Calls Jamoy Mays in motion behind him. Sorsby has it. Looking. Fires for Joe Royer, and he hits the completion. He's brought down at the 34-yard line, and it'll be a 1st down for the Bearcats after a 9-yard completion to Royer, the big tight end out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, that was an interesting look from Houston's defense. You saw it when Jamoy Mays went for the orbit behind Brendan Sorsby. No one followed him, so you recognize that's a quick zone coverage. Look for Royer quickly up the middle, and you get the 1st down.
Under 12 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Cats up 14-0 here at Nippert Stadium. They have it at the 34-yard line. In motion was Grover from left to right. Hand off to Pryor, tries to bounce it outside of the 35-40, lowers the shoulder, and he'll gain 6 yards on that carry. They'll set up a 2nd and medium for the Bearcats.
Yeah, Pryor tried to bounce that one out, little foot race to the sideline. Didn't have the angle, unfortunately, and got knocked out, but a good pickup nonetheless. You can run the ball effectively. You can set the tone for the game.
The Bearcats, one of the best rushing teams in the country, averaging 214 rushing yards per game with 6 touchdowns on the ground, too. Almost like a two-headed beast between Kiner and Pryor. And there's a flag thrown. Looks like the Bearcats are going to back this one up. A false start somewhere, looks like on the line.
False start, offense, number 56, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
That's DeAndre Buford. The redshirt junior out of Detroit, Michigan, gets caught with the false start. Back up the Bearcats. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line inside their own territory. 11:05 left to go in the second quarter. Clock will start to roll. Bearcats dispersed from the huddle. Around 10 seconds left on the play clock. 2 receivers far to the left. Running back in the backfield, fullback next to Sorsby. Sorsby rolls out. He's looking, fires on the run, and he has a receiver. It's Tyron Smith with the completion. It'll be a 1st down up to the 46-yard line. Another 1st down for the Cats.
Yeah, Tyron Smith, just speedster. He's only 5'7", 165, but he can run. Separated, got space on the sideline, and a good throw by Sorsby to connect.
A transfer from UTEP. He was a 1,000-yard receiver in 2022. His season last year was cut short due to injury. Bearcats have it. In motion as a receiver. Hand off to the running back. It's Kiner up the gut. He'll gain maybe a yard or 2 on that carry up to the 48-yard line. Just around 10 minutes left to go before halftime in this matchup. And Corey Kiner so far, 7 carries, 59 yards for a touchdown in this matchup against the Cougars. Bearcats dispersed from the huddle. 15 seconds left on the play clock. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Royer, the tight end, on the line. Kiner on the left hip of Sorsby. Sorsby's at the 43. He gets it. He's going to dump it off the Kiner in the flat. Crosses the 50 all the way up to the 45 inside Cougars territory. The officials will mark it right around the 46 in plus territory. It'll be a gain of 6 yards, and it'll be 3rd and short for the Bearcats. Bearcats are 1 for 2 on 3rd downs today. It'll be 3rd and 2. Kiner in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. The team stands up and looks towards the sideline for the audible. 9 minutes left to go before halftime. Kiner shifts to the left hip of Sorsby. In motion, it's Smith going behind Sorsby. It's a handoff to Kiner to the right side. Try to find a lane, but looks like he's going to be short. Maybe the second effort can get him right up to the marker. And they're going to say first down for the Bearcats. Up to the 46-yard line, and the Bearcats will move them chains.
I thought he might have been short, but like you mentioned, that second effort push through. Looks like the referees thought he got the ball across. Either way, I think that's a situation where you're continuing to go for it and you keep your offense on the field. But Scott Satterfield doesn't have to make that decision.
Make it the 44-yard line. Two receivers both sides. Sorsby has it, drops back the pass, looking. He's going to fire. He wants Henderson, and it's incomplete, but a flag is thrown as that one sailed over the head of Henderson out of bounds. It looks like this one might be on the Cougars.
Yeah, they threw that before the ball even got to Xavier Henderson, well before.
Prior to the pass, holding defense, number 17, 10-yard penalty, and first down.
It's defensive holding on Kristen Davis, the senior cornerback out of Mobile, Alabama. A transfer from Southern after spending 5 years there, and he gets called for the defensive hold. 8:14 left to go in the second quarter. Bearcats will have it at the Cougars' 34-yard line. First and 10 for the Cats. It's the Cougars' fourth penalty on the day for 38 yards. Two receivers both sides. In the backfield, it's Evan Pryor. In motion is Grover, the tight end acting as the fullback. Hand off to Pryor, tries to go left side. Can he find a lane? He'll get maybe a yard up to the 33-yard line. And it'll be second and long for the Cats. Cats are looking to capitalize on this drive. So far, 9 plays, 47 yards. They started at their own 20-yard line. Have it at the Cougars' 33-yard line. Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Pryor right behind Sorsby. Fakes the handoff. Sorsby rolls out to the right, fires on the run. It's a tough throw, and it's incomplete, but a flag is thrown by the rear official. Intended target was Aaron Turner. And we'll see what this call is.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what they're going to call on this one. I didn't see anything on the receiver, on Turner.
Prior to the pass, holding defense, number 28, 10-yard penalty, and first down.
It's another defensive hold on the Cougars. This time it's Tegan Wilk, the strong safety out of Berwick, Pennsylvania, the transfer from Eastern Carolina. He played in 4 games before having a season-ending injury. And the penalties are piling on for the Cougars.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully agree with that one, Chris. I thought that was just a good play by Tegan Wilk. Referees thought he got there and held a little early before the pass.
12 personnel for the Bearcats. Two receivers to the left. In the backfield, it's Kiner in motion as a receiver. Sorsby has it under pressure. He's going to look. He's going to fire to Kiner in the flat. Kiner to the 15. Kiner up to the 10. And he's brought down inside the 10 for another Bearcats first down. Gain of 13. Sorsby to Kiner.
Yeah, Kiner coming into this game hadn't been used in the receiving game all that much. Only 2 receptions for 18 yards before that. So far in this one, that's catch number 2 for him. He's had a good day.
And there's a Cougar down on the field. We cannot see a number here, but overall, Bearcats are threatening here with this drive. They have it at the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal after this quick break on Bearcast Sports Radio. And welcome back to beautiful Nippert Stadium. Cats up 14-0, looking to score on this drive. They have it inside the red zone. It's first and goal from the 10. Bearcats on a 10-play, 70-yard drive, so far totaling just over 6 minutes of action. 7:16 left to go before halftime. Bearcats have two receivers on both sides in the backfield. It's the hometown kid, Corey Kiner. Sorsby in the gun. He's planted at the 15-yard line. In motion, it's Royer. Sorsby fakes the handoff looking. He's under pressure, and he's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line, a loss of 5. And the big man, Xavier Stillman, get the sack. This around, let's see, their second sack in the past 2 weeks. Only the 6th sack of the year for the Cougars defense. They also had to replace their top 3 sack leaders from last year. The first goal at the 15 for the Cats. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Kiner in the backfield. Sorsby has it. Drops back. He's going to fire for the end zone. It's a one-on-one, and it's a great catch. No signal yet. It's in for a touchdown. Once again, Xavier Henderson. His second touchdown of the day. Bearcats up 20-0. 6:27 left to go in the second quarter.
Once again, Xavier Henderson gets one-on-one on the outside in the red zone. Houston makes that mistake a second time. Sorsby sees it. He's like, it worked the first time. Why not give it a second shot? It works again.
Sorsby 9 for 10, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air. Both of them to Xavier Henderson. 2 catches, 34 yards on the day. Cats up 20-0 in the second quarter. And to attempt the PAT, it will be Nathan Hawks, the redshirt senior. Started off playing at Wittenberg University, worked his way up as a walk-on here at UC, and now he finds himself as the starting kicker after being replacing the other kicker, Carter Brown, as the PAT is up, and it is good. Cats go up 21-0. So far, Justin, they're outgaining the Cougars 183-90. They outgained them last year as well in the matchup, 368-241. So far, the offense is looking pretty good for the Bearcats.
Yeah, it's been rolling. Last week, it's had a few miscues over there in Oxford, Ohio. They only scored 27 points. Now already 21 points, and there's still 6 minutes to go before half. They've been running the ball effectively. Brendan Sorsby's been on point, which is, I think, the biggest thing. And Houston's killing themselves with defensive penalties as well, helping Cincinnati move the ball downfield.
And we talked about it in our pregame show. The Houston Cougars defense, it's in the bottom of the Big 12 in a lot of the stat rankings and points per game. Or, excuse me, one of the best defenses in the Big 12. I got my teams mixed up. Averaging or allowing 16.7 points per game and 238 yards per game to opponents. So far, the Bearcats looks like they might have found a few things on the film and a few strategies they're trying to implement to exploit this Cougars defense.
Yeah, and the Houston offense hasn't been helping their defense either. I mean, they haven't really been driving down the field. You saw the missed field goal attempt as well. You should have put points on the board and had a kickoff there. It just hasn't been an all-around good day for Houston. They need to find something to build on before they go to halftime if they want a shot at a comeback in the second.
And looking at the Houston rushing game specifically, 14 carries, 37 yards, averaging around 2.6 yards per carry. Not ideal for the Cougars. You look at Donovan Smith, 4 of 7, 53 yards, and an interception. The Cougars offense just really hasn't found the rhythm yet in this game.
Yeah, they just haven't been able to get in a groove. I feel like they're just not trying anything simple. They've been doing a lot of complicated looks, complicated play calls, trying to catch the Cincinnati defense, sleeping and confuse them, but you're not going to consistently move the football when you're doing that. That's going to help you with those big plays where you're in, your offense is in a little bit of a lull and you need to get something going. It's not going to help you move the ball downfield and get a score every single drive. You need to get back to your roots, get back to your basics, let Donovan Smith make reads, throw passes he can connect on, and run the football to the outside. You got Bearcats have a good defensive front. Dante Corleone up the middle is going to stuff any rushing attempts by Houston. Try to get it to the outside. Maybe work it towards the sideline a little bit. Get your playmakers in some space.
And overall, looking at the series for the Battle of the Cats, the Cougars have lost their last 13 of 17 versus Cincinnati, including dropping the last 8 of 9 matchups here in Cincinnati. As this one is kicked away by Hawks, and this one will be a touchback. Cougars will send the offense back out onto the field, led by quarterback Donovan Smith. And as we just mentioned it, the offense has been really struggling so far, and the Bearcats' defense has been pretty solid, including forcing a turnover interception by the safety Joshua Minkins, his second of the year. With 6:27 left to go, the Cougars need to get something on the board, specifically with this drive.
Yeah, look for them to attack early here. I think they're going to try to go for a shot play on first down. Maybe work something to these two receivers on the left side of Donovan Smith.
Empty gun for Smith. He has it. He drops back. He's looking. He fires it, and he's brought down. What a play by the Bearcats. Swarmed and brought down. It's kind of hard to see who that is, but overall, a great play blowing up the screen attempt by the Cougars.
Yeah, they swung that one out. Tight end screen to Malik Carr, the transfer from Purdue and Michigan State. There was absolutely no space for that one.
Looks like Marquez Parker, the freshman, making a huge play for the Cats on defense. Smith has it, keeps it. He's going to roll left, fires off in the flat to Manjack. Manjack tries to make a move, and he's brought down inbounds at the 22-yard line. 5:40 left to go before halftime. It'll be 3rd and 13 for the Cougars. Talked about it, the rhythm is just not there for the Cougars on the offensive end. With the Bearcats up 21-0, if they cannot get a score here, the Bearcats can really, really apply pressure on the next possession. Officially 3rd and 14. Cougars are 3 for 6 on third downs in this game. Smith in the gun. He drops back. He's looking. He might run for it. He's at the 20. He's going to make a move, and he's brought down. Once again, looks like the Turf Monster got another Houston Cougar. And Houston will have to punt this one away with 4:56 left to go before halftime, setting out the Bearcats offense.
Yeah, not the drive that Houston wanted at all there. We needed to put points on the board before halftime. They were giving the Bearcats another opportunity to extend this lead.
And to pump this one away will be Liam Doherty. The freshman, Tyron Smith, is the punt returner. Plant at the 32. And the Bearcats almost got close to that one. Smith calls a fair catch. And it's bobbled, but he recovers it at the 31-yard line. What could have been a disaster. The Bearcats thankfully did not make the mistake, and the offense will come onto the field after this media timeout, and a penalty flag comes out way after the play. Officials are discussing to see what the call this one will be. They officially mark it at the 32-yard line. 4:23 left to go before halftime. Cats up 21-0. Officials are still discussing on what this flag is. And if it's against the Cougars, that'll be their 6th penalty of the game. Bearcats only have 2 for 10 yards. The same amount they had last year was Houston only having 2 penalties for 8 yards. Talk about discipline right there.
Yeah, penalties are just killing the Cougars right now.
Officials are still discussing because this one came out way after the play was over. Still discussing this one. So it's kick catch interference on the Cougars. Makes sense because Tyron Smith called for a fair catch, and essentially once he bobbed it, he was tackled by one of the Houston special teams players. So another costly penalty for the Cougars, make it number 6. Sounds like it'll be a 15-yard penalty against the Cougars, and overall not being able to find a rhythm do have a media timeout here at Nippert Stadium. We'll take a quick break here on Bearcast Sports Radio. You're listening to Big 12 football. It's the Battle of the Cats. And welcome back to the Big 12 opener for the 2024 season. Cats up 21-0, and the offense has been clicking on all cylinders. Sorsby 9 for 10, 119 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the Bearcats averaging just over 5 yards per carry on the ground.
Yeah, they've been looking really solid, huge in part to the offensive line. They've been opening up rushing lanes for Corey Kiner and Evan Pryor and keeping Sorsby off the ground, only 1 sack today.
Hand off to Kiner, tries to make a man miss, and he goes down for a gain of 2 yards up the middle, right by the right hash. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Cats at their own 49-yard line, just over 4 minutes left to go before halftime. Bearcats looking to add on to their 21-point lead in the Battle of the Cats. Bearcats dispersed from the huddle. Kiner in the backfield, Sorsby in the gun. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. In motion, it's Aaron Turner. And Sorsby keeps it, rolls to his left, looking. He's going to fire on the run. He's got a receiver. It's Tony Johnson. He goes out of bounds at around the 34-yard line in plus territory. A gain of 17. Sorsby to Tony Johnson. His first catch of the game. 3:30 left to go before halftime. Bearcats have it at the Cougars' 34-yard line. Bearcats are getting set in their formation. It'll be 1st and 10. 3:16 left to go. Kiner in the backfield. In motion, it's Royer, the tight end. 12 personnel for the Cats. 1 tight end on each side of the line. It's a handoff to Kiner. Tries to find a lane up to the 30. Kiner at the left hash, and he's brought down at the 29. A gain of 5 yards for Corey Kiner.
You're just continuing to pound the ball up the middle, moving the football down closer to the pylons. Kiner is a big part of that.
2:47 left to go before halftime. It's 2nd and 5 at the Cougars' 29-yard line. Kiner, 10 carries, 68 yards and a touchdown, including a 44-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Bearcats get set. 2 receivers to the right. Kiner in the backfield. Hand off the Kiner to the left side of the 30, and he tries to get past the Houston defense, but he's swarmed by a lot of Cougar defenders. Looks like the first one there might have been Anthony Holmes Jr., the sophomore out of Houston, Texas. His 68.9 defense grade last year was top among Big 12 freshman interior linemen.
And I like that the game plan is prioritizing Corey Kiner here. He's one of those special playmakers. You need to get him a minimum of 20 touches per game.
And we hit the 2-minute timeout, not the 2-minute warning. We can't say that. It's a 2-minute timeout. And you mentioned when Corey Kiner, 20 carries. That's an ideal number. The Bearcats, they are 3-1 when Kiner has 20 or more carries.
The recipe for success. Find your playmaker in college football who is going to be playing on Sundays eventually and get him the football. Corey Kiner is a name you should know. He's going to be on an NFL roster come next May for sure. You have to get him the football. He is the way you win games. He's the way you get down the field. He's how you set the tone. He's an all-around running back. He does everything for this team.
As we mentioned Kiner earlier, last year versus Houston, 23 carries, 129 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns. Last week, the battle, the victory bell, 126 rushing yards and a touchdown, and the Bearcats win. And overall, 9 career 100-yard rushing games for Corey Kiner. So obviously, like you mentioned, the recipe has get him the ball and let him go to work.
I've gotten the pleasure of being able to watch Corey Kiner all throughout his college career. Being an LSU fan, I saw him in his freshman year at LSU, big 4-star recruit. He's an exciting player. Of course, coming over to Cincinnati, and then I go to Cincinnati. I've been able to watch Corey Kiner for his entire career, see how he's progressed, see how he's developed as a football player and as a person off the field. Kiner's one of those special guys, man. He's a really, really nice guy, really, really good person, a great football player. Cincinnati's lucky to have him here.
And it starts with the O-line. It starts in the trenches. An O-line that the Bearcats return every starter, which you really don't see that a lot in the collegiate level, and they're led by preseason All-American right guard Luke Kandra.
Luke Kandra, #1 offensive guard per my draft board for this upcoming 2025 NFL draft. He's a solid player, a really, really good prospect, a strong guy up front. He's going to set the tone in the run game. He's not going to let anyone past him. As far as blitz goes, he's really, really smart. He picks up extra rushers as well. Kandra's a good player, man. Coming over from Louisville, like you mentioned, really established himself last season. Now this season, as a redshirt senior, he's looking forward to his future in the NFL.
So far in this matchup, Bearcats have 71 rushing yards, 136 yards through the air, as both teams disperse from the huddles, or their respective huddles. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Bearcats at the Cougars' 29-yard line. 2 receivers far to the right, 2 to the left. The ball is marked at the left hash of the 29.
Joe Royer in the backfield.
Interesting look for the Bearcats. Swordsby in the gun. Claps, gets a snap. It's a QB keeper to the left side, but he's not going to get much, maybe a yard. And Coach Willie Fritz will immediately call a timeout to save the clock. It will be 4th and 4 for the Bearcats. And it may sound like this may be decision time for Coach Satterfield. You know he likes to be aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully agree with that play call there. I think on 3rd and 5, if you want to be aggressive, I think that's the play to do it. Either go for the end zone or throw it away and settle and take your field goal. A design QB draw with Brendan Sorsby isn't where I would have gone. However, now you're left in a situation. You're on the opposite side of the field. On the 28-yard line, 4th and 4. I would probably say to go for it. You've got a 21-point cushion already. Your defense has stood strong.
And it looks like they're going to send out the special teams unit, and they're going to kick this one. At least attempt the 45-yard field goal. It's Nathan Hawks, the unsung hero, really, in that Miami game, hitting 2 field goals. His first 2 collegiate field goals were both over 50 yards, and he made them both. They officially mark it at the 36-yard line. It'll be a 46-yard field goal for Hawks. Good snap. The kick is up. It's on its way end over end, and it is good. Bearcats go up 24-0 with 1:51 left to go in the second quarter, and Coach Satterfield selects to take the points in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, when you have trust in your kicker like Satterfield trusts Nathan Hawks, I mean, you saw that last week, trusted him to make 2 of those 50-plus yard field goals, trusted him to make this one from 46. You're going to take the points when you have that opportunity, and when you have a kicker as talented as Hawks, that's practically free.
And looking at Hawks, he transferred to UC prior to the 2023 season after 2 years at Wittenberg. He only had 4 collegiate field goal attempts in his career, and the performance against Miami of Ohio put Hawks in an incredibly rarefied air. He's just the 4th FBS kicker since 1996 to have his first 2 field goal career attempts come from 50 yards or more, and making them both.
It's good company for the kicker here.
And Hawks will get set to tee this one away. 1:51 left to go before halftime. Cougars down 24-0 in this matchup against the Bearcats. Hawk steps up, and he kicks this one away to the return man. It's going to be Brian Massey. Takes it out of the end zone of the 10, 15, 20. Trying to find a lane. He's brought down at the 22. First man there to make the tackle for the Bearcats is number 44, Francis Sherman, the senior tight end from Bay Village, Ohio. 2-minute drill for the Cougars. They'll have it at the 21-yard line, and we mentioned it before, it really hasn't been the Cougars' night on offense.
No, not at all. Only 49 passing yards from Donovan Smith, 39 rushing yards, 88 total. I mean, you haven't even moved the full football field yet.
Smith sets up in the gun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Running back on his right hip, it's Sneeds. Smith has it, drops back, fires across the middle. He dumps off in the flat. It's caught by Stephen Johnson. He runs out of bounds at the 24-yard line. It'll be gain of 3 yards, and it stops the clock. Bearcats have 2 timeouts. Houston has 2 as well. It's 2nd and 7 from the 24.
Yeah, a simple mesh concept there. 2 receivers interlocking over the middle on drags. You had the tight end up the middle. Smith threw his guy open, and a good job by Johnson to get to the sideline and save some time.
Trips receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Smith in the gun at the 19. He drops back to pass. He's looking, fires once again. And it's caught by the running back, Stacy Sneed, right at the 30-yard line. He's a yard short of the first down marker. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 30 for the Cougars. 1:28 left to go before halftime. Cougars running tempo offense. 2 receivers both sides. Smith has it, drops back to pass, looking. He surveys. He's going to take off and run. Smith with the first down up to the 35 and goes out of bounds. Push out of bounds by Jack Dingle, the redshirt junior linebacker from Louisville, Kentucky, and that'll stop the clock at 1:17 in the second quarter.
Yeah, it looked like very early in that play, Smith had the tight end Jaden York open on the out route for the first down. He just kind of shrugged him off and took it himself.
Referee over the center as both teams substitute. Here we go. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left in the backfield of Stacy Sneed. Smith has it, drops back to the 25, looking. He's under pressure. He's going to scramble to his left. Looking for an open receiver. Dumps off in the flat to Sneed, and it's jarred incomplete by the Bearcats defense. Great play by Armani Arnold, the sophomore from Long Beach, California, making a big play.
Armani Arnold, former player for the Idaho Vandals. Used to play at the Kibbe Dome, now at Nippert Stadium. Got to be an interesting scenery change for him, but he makes the play nonetheless. Only 5'9", but he's a hard hitter. Jar that one out.
2nd and 10 from the 34, 1:09 left on the clock. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Sneed enters the backfield as the halfback. Smith has it, drops back, looking left side. He's going to fire off, and once again it's caught by Jonah Wilson. He's swarmed by Jake Golday, and Armani Arnold brought down at the 34-yard line. Clock continues to tick, 55 seconds. It's 3rd down for the Cougars. Kind of surprised the Bearcats have not taken a timeout to stop this clock. Both teams substitute. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Donovan Smith. It's 3rd and 10. Smith drops back to the 25, looking, surveying, throws, and it's caught by his receiver right at the 42-yard line, and he's brought down short of the first down marker. It looks like Malik Carr made the catch right there. Clock continues to tick. And their stoppage looks like a timeout on the field. Houston takes a timeout. Interesting decision. Cougars taking the timeout. It's 4th and 2 at the 42 with 23 seconds left to go before halftime. Cougars have it in their own territory. You got to imagine they're going to pump this one away.
Well, it is a decision to make. You're on the 42, 2 yards to go to get that first down. You still got another timeout. Maybe you think you can pick this up and potentially get a field goal before the half, but you also don't want to risk it because Nathan Hawks has good long-range kicking, and he could put the Bearcats up 27 before going in. It's a tough decision for Willie Fritz, but I would expect probably to punt this one away. Cincinnati to kneel it down, head into the locker rooms, and talk something over.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Justin. I just don't think it's the right decision to go for it inside your own territory. I understand there's 23 seconds left. The Bearcats have 2 timeouts left, and they're going to punt this one away. Back to punt. It's Liam Doherty. Houston has a handful of punts today. I believe this will be Doherty's 3rd punt of the day. And it's marked at the 42. Doherty gets a snap, and he punts it up. It's a high, squibbly kick. That's a new word I just invented, and that one's taken a Houston Cougar bounce. It'll be recovered inside the 10-yard line at the 6. 14 seconds left to go, and as you mentioned, Justin, the Bearcats will probably just knee this one out and take it to halftime.
Yeah, they were almost in the position where they wouldn't have been able to knee it down. You saw that was a good punt. Probably could have been caught farther up. It was caught around the 6-yard line. You saw a little bit of frustration from a teammate who caught the ball, was yelling at him. He's like, why do you pick it up that quick? They probably could have done that at the 1, which would have left Cincinnati. Tough situation. You have to run it at that point and hope you don't get tackled in the end zone. Now you got the easy decision. You're going to kneel this one down. You're going to take it to halftime, and you're going to be happy with your 24-0 lead.
And here we go. Offense takes the field, and they're going to be in a very, very safe QB kneel position. Shortsby at the 1, gets a snap. He runs up to the 5 and takes the knee. This will take us into halftime. Bearcats up 24-0 in what has been a great offensive performance so far for the Cats. On the other end, the Cougars, they've been struggling quite a bit on both sides of the ball. They boast one of the better defenses in the Big 12, but the Bearcats have taken advantage of that, supplying 24 points on the board, headlined by 208 total yards of offense. Looking at Sorsby, 10 of 11, 136, 2 touchdowns, both to Xavier Henderson. Corey Kiner with 11 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown, including a 44-yard touchdown in the first quarter. And, Justin, you have to be pleased with the Bearcats' performance. I mean, not many mistakes made, and so far it's been going pretty good for the Cats.
Yeah, you're going to be very, very happy. I think especially with how your offense has played. Sometimes they've struggled so far this season. They've been really good in the first half. You saw that against Towson. You saw that against Pittsburgh. Now you are going to want to keep this up for the second half. You saw, obviously, with that fourth quarter comeback a few weeks ago here at Nippert Stadium for the River City rivalry, they did not score, and they gave up that comeback to Pittsburgh. You're going to want to keep the offensive aggression going. Do not play it safe in the second half just because you have this lead. I'm saying this loudly in case any coach is listening. Please do not play it safe. You want to keep aggressive. You want to keep this lead. You want to extend this lead. Forget keeping the lead. Extend the lead.
And you mentioned the first half wonders for the Bearcats. Looking at Brendan Sorsby coming into this matchup, 658 first half passing yards, which was 4th in the country. Talk about getting off to a hot start. Bearcats up 24-0. We've hit halftime here at Nippert Stadium. You're listening to Big 12 football on Bearcast Sports Radio. We'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Welcome back, everybody, to Nippert Stadium for Cincinnati versus Houston. The second half will start soon as the Bearcats lead 24-0 after an explosive first half offensively. Corey Kiner, 68 yards and a touchdown, including a 44-yard touchdown run early in the game. Brendan Sorsby, 10 for 11, 136 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, both to Xavier Henderson. Both his receptions today are touchdowns. Chris, Houston's in a 24-point hole. What do they have to do to crawl out of that?
Well, I think it's finding the rhythm on offense. We saw it, they struggled quite a bit, and they've been struggling this entire year and this entire season. They really had to get a rhythm going, and we saw the run play effective, especially the QB run by Donovan Smith. So they have to stay focused, right? 24 points, comebacks can happen. We saw it in week 2. So they have to stay composed, one play at a time, one drive at a time.
Houston will receive ball to start the second half. Nathan Hawks will kick off. Hawks all set up now, and he will send it away. Cougars will elect to let this one bounce in the end zone for a touchback, and Donovan Smith will take the field to lead the Houston offense. Smith so far in the day, 10 of 14, 66 yards, 0 touchdowns, and an early interception to Josh Minkins, who undercut about a 15-yard throw down the middle of the field. Smith trying to bounce back. Like you mentioned, the run has been effective. Can he get it going through the air?
They're going to have to go beyond the 6. Everything so far for Houston and Donovan Smith, it's been short play. They have to open up the playbook and let him go down the field.
Smith takes it, handoff, up the middle, looking for space, and now breaking free. Fighting tackles down the field is Rashawn Sanford. He's going to get that down to about the 45-yard line. Make that the 43. Eventually brought down by Derek Canteen. And a good start for the second half for Houston. Trips to the right. Donovan Smith takes it. He's going to dump it off to Sanford out of the backfield. Sanford gets up about at the first down marker. Eventually knocked out of bounds by Jack Dingle.
And it's going to be very important for the Bearcats to not take their foot off the gas. They have to keep applying pressure. And you mentioned it going to halftime. They have to extend their lead. They don't want to keep it. They have to add on to it because, like we said, anything could happen. There's a lot of football yet to be played.
2nd and 3. Sanford behind Donovan Smith. 2 wide receivers to the left. Smith fakes play action, surveying deep. Now he's going to launch this one. Undercut and contact. Flag will come out. Intended for Stephen Johnson.
This is where it gets interesting. The back line judge is the one who threw the flag, not the official along the sideline. That's what Minkins is arguing. Overall, there was contact.
Yeah, Minkins definitely got there early. I think what he was arguing was that even a catchable football?
Yeah, that is also too. Looking at the replay on the jumbo screen, yeah, that to me that looks catchable. There's contact. That's a DPI. Only the 3rd penalty on the Bearcats, but so far maybe the Cougars may have something going here at this drive.
3 plays, 26 yards on the drive. Sanford in motion. Smith's going to fake it to him, take it up the middle himself, and he's going to barrel down at about the 31-yard line. 2nd and 6. Continuing the success of the QB run. Smith's going to have Sanford off to his left. Stephen Johnson in the slot. One-on-one coverage on the right side. He's going to play action fake it. Looking deep. He's got a man and just overthrows Stephen Johnson going towards the right pylon. Smith laid that one out just about a few inches, hit Stephen Johnson's hand, and that could have been the big play that Houston needed to get going. Now they're faced with a 3rd and 6 situation.
It's definitely going to be a throw Smith wants back, which is a simple post route by Johnson, and just couldn't connect with them.
Trips right, Sanford on Donovan Smith's right. They're going to hand it off. Sanford cuts back up the middle. He's got space, fumbles the football, dives on it. The Bearcats have it. Another takeaway by Cincinnati, another mistake by Houston. Sanford had that one knocked out.
It's like Trevin Gola collared with the recovery, and I think Canteen supplied the hit that jarred that one out loose. It's the second turnover for the Cougars.
Yeah, Canteen came up from the right side, laid the boom on Sanford. And great awareness to recover that one. Cincinnati with another takeaway from Houston. 24-0, they still lead. We'll be back after about 2 minutes and 30 seconds here on Bearcast Sports Radio. Both teams back to taking the field after a Rashawn Sanford fumble. The Bearcats take possession off another Cougar turnover. It'll be Brendan Sorsby on the 11-yard line, looking to extend this lead 24-0.
Yeah, it's kind of demoralizing for Houston. You had a drive going, and once again, they come up empty-handed.
That drive went 64 yards and a fumble in the red zone. Sorsby takes a snap. Handoff, it's Kiner, spins and is knocked down at about the 20 or 15-yard line, excuse me.
I think that's going to be a key thing in the second half is keep feeding the ball to your running backs, especially Corey Kiner, and kind of drain that clock as long as with, keeping the running game going and keeping that offense balanced. It's going to be really important to have the clock work towards your advantage if you're Cincinnati.
Kiner in the backfield behind Sorsby. One wide receiver left. Sorsby takes it, drops back, surveying, hits Burkhalter on the curl, fumbled the ball, the catch a little bit, was able to come up with it. And so that'll leave the Bearcats in a third down situation. 1 yard to go. They'll keep tempo a little bit. Sorsby already out there ready to take the snap. Kiner to his right. He'll give it to him. Cuts up. Gets the first down yardage and a little bit extra.
And that's going to advance the drive. Down the field, we really haven't said Xavier Henderson's name much besides the 2 touchdowns alongside Joe Royer. It's been a balanced effort by the Cincinnati Bearcats on offense. And like I said, just keep feeding Corey Kiner and let him go to work.
We've got a man down on the field for the Cougars.
It might be the nose guard, Carlos Allen, I believe. It's kind of hard to see the number from up here with staff around him, but I think it might be him, Carlos Allen.
Staff will attend to Carlos Allen, and we will get a short media break here at Nippert Stadium. Bearcats lead 24-0 in the third quarter. Returning here to Nippert Stadium, it was the defensive tackle, Carlos Allen, who was helped off the field. Hopefully he is okay. He's in the medical tent. Chris, Houston's been struggling today. Anything that you can look at to kind of help you figure out why?
Well, you look at these drives. They have 2 drives over 60 yards, and they've come up empty-handed on both. They have 2 turnovers, including a missed field goal. And looking at the Bearcats, they've scored on 4 consecutive drives to end that first half. You take away the knee down. So it's really been finding consistency on their offense.
Sorsby takes a snap, hands it off, diving forward. That's Chance Williams. He'll be down at about the 30-yard line. 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6. We've only seen Brendan Sorsby throw 1 pass so far in the second half.
And when you look at Chance Williams, running back, him and Pryor, they're guys that can help take off Corey Kiner's load on the shoulder. You know, give him a little breather, and that's what good rushing teams do. They have a lot of people that they can throw in there.
Royer motions left, sets up on the line. Chance Williams behind Sorsby. Williams will take it, bounce it out to the outside. He's got space. Fighting, breaking tackles, and eventually taken down at about the 45-yard line. It'll be Michael Batten who got him, but not after a great gain by Chance Williams, the Grambling State transfer. 2023 second team all SWAC. Now making plays for the Bearcats in the Big 12.
Exactly, and that's why UC wanted him. That's why UC got him. He has the ability to extend the plays. He's a big frame, 5'8", 190. He's tough to bring down. It's a great ad for the Bearcats, especially on the rushing offensive end.
In motion, Aaron Turner. Sorsby's going to look deep. He's got a man. It's Burkhalter. Catches it down at about the 9-yard line. Cougars draped all over him. Burkhalter fights through it. The first deep shot of the day for Brendan Sorsby.
And it's been a pleasure because we've seen it throughout this year. Sorsby and his deep balls have been connecting all season long. He's definitely in the zone. And right there, it's a great play to Burkhalter. Took the contact, too. It was just a tad underthrown. Burkhalter came back to it, got the catch, and now the Bearcats have it inside the red zone.
We'll see what they dial up here. It'll be Corey Kiner in the backfield with Brendan Sorsby, and we'll get a timeout.
Timeout, Cincinnati.
Scott Satterfield and the Bearcats use their first timeout of the second half. They're in the red zone on the 8-yard line, threatening to score and extend their lead again. Already up 24-0 here at Nippert Stadium. We'll take a short break here on Bearcast Sports Radio. Sorsby under centers. The Bearcats line back out. They got 3 running backs in the backfield. Pryor, Kiner, and they'll motion them all out. Tony Johnson was the third. Kiner's the only one that stays in. Evan Pryor in the slot. He's going to motion in front of Sorsby. Sorsby looking left. He's got a man and overthrows Tony Johnson. Just out of his reach, going towards the back pylon of the left side.
I like the play design, trying to stretch the field and hit the left side of, the side of the field. But overall, it's you kind of bunching everyone up in that small, confined area. I expect them. They should run the ball right here, I believe. Give it to Corey Kiner. Let him go to work.
2 receivers off to the right. Just Jamoy Ways on the left. Kiner motion. Sorsby's going to take it up the middle himself, fighting through, and he's going to get into the end zone. Brendan Sorsby rushing touchdown number 1 on the day, extending the Bearcats' lead. He fought off at least 2 Houston Cougars for that one.
Instead of handing it off to Corey Kiner, why not just keep it yourself for Sorsby? His 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. And he's a big frame, too, 6'3", 228. He's tough to bring down, and having that versatility with inside the 10 allows Cincinnati to have that QB run option in their back pocket.
Hawks on for the extra point try. And he will knock that one through. 31-0. Cincinnati with a commanding lead over Houston. We talked about this Houston defense being one of the best in the Big 12. They have not shown that today. The Cincinnati offense has been rolling.
Yeah, Cincinnati offense has been sealing the show tonight. We talked about it a lot. 300 yards of offense so far, and the key was going to be giving the playmakers a chance to make plays, giving them the ball, and that's what they've done. Corey Kiner, 13 attempts. It's been kind of quiet for Joe Royer, but Henderson, 2 touchdowns. They definitely see something on the film and the preparation this week that's allowed them to go out and put up 31 points on the board so far. It's been a great showing for the Cats.
Yeah, that was an 8-play, 89-yard drive. Took 4 minutes off of the clock and ended in a Brendan Sorsby 8-yard touchdown run. We've got another media timeout here in Nippert Stadium. We'll be back after another short break on Bearcast Sports Radio. Cincinnati getting ready to kick things back off here to Houston after a Brendan Sorsby 8-yard touchdown run that put them up 31-0 in an offensive explosion here at Nippert Stadium.
And if you take away the knee down, Cincinnati has scored on 5 consecutive drives in this match. After starting out with a 3-and-out, they've had a great response on the offensive end, scoring 5 straight times.
Hawks will send this one in the air. This time they'll take it out. Fumbled at about the 10-yard line. He'll pick it back up. Breaking tackles, finding his way up to about the 25-yard line. And the Houston Cougars offense will take the field once again. 0 points on the day.
And looking at their last drive, they were building something. They were crafting something, but the turnover inside Cincinnati territory really, really hurt them, and we have a quarterback change.
We do. Zion Chris will be in for the Houston Cougars. Sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, former player for the Ragin' Cajuns. He takes the snap, runs to his left, design run. Gets taken down at about the 37-yard line. Is this a permanent change or is this a one-play tempo changer? We'll have to see.
This might be a permanent, I think, or at least for this drive for the Cougars. You need a spark. You definitely do. And if Chris can provide that in this drive, you're probably going to see him for the rest of this game.
Zion Chris hasn't thrown a passing attempt yet this year. 3 rushes for 16 yards coming into the game.
Might be right here.
He's in the shotgun all by himself. Takes it, surveying. He's going to run it, cut back up. Dodges 3 Bearcat defenders, somehow finds space running to the opposite side of the field. Eventually goes down at about the 45, but not before making Jake Golday shake out of his boots.
You know, looking at this play, we thought he was going to throw it, and like you said, making 3 Bearcat defenders miss, cutting, bobbing, and weaving. He got the first down, and Chris, he is an athletic player.
We know he can play some football. Just in 2023 at Louisiana Lafayette, he threw for 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Hands that one off there, and it's going to be taken down. About a gain of 1 yard. Second and 9 for Houston and Chris. Running back in the backfield, trips to the right. Chris takes a snap, design run to the left. He's got space following his blockers and gets up about the 47-yard line. 3rd and 2 for Houston. Will Zion Chris throw a pass?
I mean, the way the run game is going to work and the design QB runs, I mean, I don't think they should hand it off. You might see Chris keep this one again.
2 receivers out to the right side, 1 to the left. Chris has a running back at his left hip. He'll take the snap, keep this one himself in a read, and he's going to be brought down short of the first down marker.
Got to go for it.
Josh Minkins was the one that came up and made the stop.
And Chris hesitated a little bit on that run, which allowed Minkins to get set and make the tackle. And now, if the Bearcats can get a stop right here, that will be huge.
They will keep the offense on the field and go for it. 4th and 2, 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They have nothing to lose just across midfield. Chris takes it. He's going to look to pass. Drop back. He's going to pull it. Run up the middle. Fighting for the first down marker. Second effort. He's going to get it.
Yeah, right there. Looks like the Bearcats had a chance, but Chris with such an athletic frame, 6'3", 210. He's fast. It's going to be hard to bring him down, and the Cougars' drive continues. Let's see if they can capitalize and actually finish a drive today in this game.
Chris trying to get points for the Cougars. 1st and 10 on the 45, heading towards the Cincinnati student section. Takes a snap, hands it off. That's Parker Jenkins. Gets about to the 43 before he's stopped by a flurry of Bearcats.
7 plays on this drive, 7 rushing attempts by the Cougars. Like we mentioned, this run game has been really good for the Cougars, especially with the Bearcats in a 3-3-5 formation. They're going to drop back 8 defenders, which kind of opens up that middle of the field, allowing for the Cougars to run the ball effectively so far.
Yeah, Chris, effective rusher, 492 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns for Louisiana Lafayette last year. 2 wide receivers to his right, play action, and he's going to be brought down. The Bearcats get to him.
It's going to be big man Cam Wilson. 6'2", 250 redshirt junior gets his 2nd sack on the year. Great job with the Bearcats adding up pressure, and it pushes the Cougars further back behind the sticks. Not only that, they have to pass the ball right now.
3rd and 15 from the 50-yard line. One wide receiver to the right, running back to his left, tight end in line. They motion Muse to the right side. Chris takes a snap. He's going to hand this one off to Jenkins, breaking a few tackles, eventually gets popped on the back end at about the 45-yard line. It'll be 4th and 10.
Well, definitely specifically designed to run to help get some of that yardage back, and now it's an easier 4th and 10. You know, say for Chris, if he threw it incomplete, now it's 4th and long, really 4th and a mile, but with that run, it gets him back towards the original line of gain and makes an easier pass attempt.
Chris all by himself in the backfield. Running back motioned out right, trips to the left. He'll motion Parker Jenkins back into the backfield on his right side. Takes the snap, drops back. Surveying, finally going to let this one go towards the left sideline. Gotten up there and caught by Muse, but he was landed out of bounds. A 4th down stop by the Bearcats, and the Houston Cougars still unable to put points on the board.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. These drives have started to fizzle out, and on that play right there, the big man, Dante Corleone, being double-teamed, still got near the quarterback, Chris, and forced him to throw, just couldn't connect to Makai Muse.
3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Cincinnati with a commanding 31-0 lead, and they'll get the ball back. We return from this timeout on Bearcast Sports Radio. Both teams taking the field back after that timeout. Houston Cougars couldn't convert on a 4th and 10, leaving the Bearcats with the ball on the 45-yard line. Still seeing the starters in for the Bearcats, up 31. Royer motions in line to the left side. Sorsby takes a snap, fakes to Kiner. He is looking deep. He's got Burkhalter has to come back to try to make that play, and it's knocked down.
You know, looking at Burkhalter in that throw, I think even he was a little surprised that one was coming his way. He kind of hesitated a little bit, and collapsing in with 3 Cougar defenders on Burkhalter. You know, you'd like to see the aggression still out of Sorsby and Coach Satterfield, but just going to connect on that throw.
It was Jeremiah Wilson who came in to knock that one down. Transfer from Syracuse. 2 wide receivers to the left. Kiner behind Sorsby. They'll give it to Kiner. Has to dodge a defender in the backfield. Unable to. Brought down for a loss by Hershey McLaurin.
Yeah, he kind of just blew up that play. Went downhill immediately and wrapped up Kiner and brought him down. Now the Bearcats have to throw this one. So I would assume they would do, and they have to go beyond the sticks here on this play. Maybe look for Joe Royer and maybe get open, find some separation, hit your big target.
3rd and 12. Royer in the slot on the right side. They motion Tyron Smith. Kiner in the backfield. Sorsby takes it. Hand off to Corey Kiner. He'll go for about 2 yards and be brought down. And so Mason Fletcher and the punt team will head out there for the Bearcats.
Kind of a conservative play call right there. I was going to expect them to pass the ball, but they decided to run it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Clock continues to roll down and down, but you know, maybe you like to see the Bearcats kind of keep that aggression still.
Flags fly as Fletcher catches the snap. We'll see false start on the Bearcats. Pushing them back 5 yards. Back on the 42 now.
I mean, when you look at Mason Fletcher, he's one of the best punters in the nation. I don't think 5 yards is really going to hurt him that much.
Boots this one.
It's a flag.
It'll be caught. There is a flag. Eventually taken down. First got there by Jaquan Sanks.
It's going to be interesting if it's running into the punter or roughing the punter. 2 different penalties.
We'll see what the call is. Referees are going to discuss this one with Scott Satterfield.
Running into the kicker. Defense number 47. That penalty is declined. First down, Houston.
So we'll be running into the kicker. Penalty was declined. Houston takes over.
I think it's still going to be Zion Chris at quarterback for the Cougars. So it looks like this may be more of a permanent decision for the rest of the game.
Either keeping Donovan Smith healthy for future games or maybe making that change going forward for the rest of the season. Willie Fritz will have a decision to make. Either way, Houston takes over at the 23-yard line. Trips to his left. He's going to hand this one off up the middle. Space for Rashawn Sanford, taken down at about the 36-yard line. One play and a first down.
Great open field tackle by Antoine Peak, one of the star players or star position players on this Bearcats defense. And so far in the second half, the run game has been successful for the Cougars.
Trips left. Malik Carr, the tight end, in line. Chris takes this one, drops back. He's going to dump it off to Rashawn Sanford short. Breaks one tackle. Breaks it out to the outside. He's got space heading towards the sideline. is eventually taken down.
So far this second half, Bearcats defense has been a little sloppy, keeping the Houston Cougars offense going, missing tackles. Overall, not the start you really envisioned for the Bearcats defense in this half.
Chris takes the snap, hands off at the middle. Rashawn Stanford again breaking the first contact and then going down.
They're saying the ball might be out. Cincinnati pleads that case.
We'll see what the call is. They'll say progress was stopped before it came out. They were running with the football. It was Antoine Peak. Thought he had it. End of the third quarter. Bearcats lead 31-0 here at Nippert Stadium. We'll see if the Cougars can get anything going in the fourth to build off for future weeks. We'll be back here after this media timeout on Bearcast Sports Radio. Back on the field, Zion Chris and the Houston Cougars continue their drive. It's 2nd and 9 on the 47. So far, the drive's been 3 plays, 30 yards. Cougars still looking for their first points of the day. Motions Jenkins to the opposite side. Now he's going to take it. QB draw. Up the middle, spins for space, and eventually taken down. That was Jared Bartlett with the tackle.
You know, Justin, you love to scout players. We all know that, right? You think Zion Chris might be someone you keep an eye out for these next couple of years? He's only a sophomore.
Redshirt sophomore, maybe for the future. Definitely has some athletic potential. 6'3", 210, good size for an NFL quarterback. We'll have to see how he progresses as a passer. However, there's definitely something there. Trips left. Jenkins on his right. Play action, gets it out to Makai Muse, diving forward and being taken down at about 37-yard line by Antoine Peak.
He's short. It's going to be 4th down again.
4th and 1. Rashawn Stanford comes back in as the running back. 1 wide receiver on each side. Jaden York, the tight end, in line. They motion Stephen Johnson across. Hand it off. Stanford cuts up the field, breaking tackles and down.
Ball's out.
The Bearcats are calling that they have it, waiting for a signal from the boys in stripes.
They're going to say he's down. That's what it looks like. The officials are signaling.
Ooh, that football might have come out.
I don't know.
Replay showing on the big board here. And they're going to take a second look at this.
That ball looks like it's out.
That football is out.
That should be a fumble. And if that's another turnover for the Cougars, that's kind of summed up this game.
That would be the second fumble by Sanford.
Second fumble. They also have an interception. Just a story of drives sizzling out. They're on potential, and then they just collapse. Give the ball right back to the Bearcats if that is the call, and it looks like it might stand.
They make it all the way to the opposite side of the field. If this stands, they'd be on the 33-yard line. If it doesn't, the Bearcats would take back over on offense.
I just can't see on how this call can be reversed. Personally, just looking at the replay, I think the ball is out. It's starting to get loose, and I think it's going to be a fumble.
Looking at this, being ripped out as Sanford goes. Knee doesn't touch. Falls down on his butt, being ripped out. I think this is going to be overturned to a fumble recovered by the Bearcats.
And it should be. It's a great athletic play by the defense, forcing another turnover if the call does stand. But just looking at it, we think that ball is becoming loose before Sanford is down. It's like maybe Jordan Robinson might have forced that fumble as he was after Sanford, the transfer from Kentucky. Officials still looking at it, so they're taking their time, but I personally think that's a fumble.
It's the second fumble of the day for Rayshawn Sanford. He hasn't had the best day. 6 for 61 on the ground. Former three-star prospect, number 122 running back nationally in the class of 2023 per 24/7 Sports. Played football, high school football in Texas. You know how big Texas high school football is. A lot of those players turn out to be solid guys, and they've got trust in Sanford. He's their number one back this year as a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and the officials, they're writing down on their note card, a little notepad. Usually that's a sign that the call might be reversed.
Expect the call here soon. They're talking with Scott Satterfield now on the Bearcats side.
After further review, the one on the field was a fumble recovered by the defense. It will be Cincinnati's ball.
And it will be Cincinnati football recovered after the fumble by Sanford. And another costly mistake by the Houston Cougars. It has not been their day.
It really hasn't been their trip to Ohio. Definitely a week they want to forget about and just focus on their matchup next week. I believe they host Iowa State for the Big 12 home opener this year.
A change at quarterback for Cincinnati. We'll see Brady Lichtenberg come in.
Lieutenant.
Redshirt junior from Toledo, Ohio. Last year threw 2 touchdowns to 1 interception, 250 yards. Takes a snap. Hands off. Corey Kiner. Gets brought down. Looks like to be loss of 1. No space for Kiner, bouncing towards the sideline. Lichtenberg motions his wide receiver to his left, takes a snap, surveying. Now he's going to throw to his tight end, caught up the middle. That'll go close to first down yardage. Gavin Grover made that one. Excuse me, it was Joey Beljan, the tight end.
Hear me out. I do apologize for that. The Bearcats on the depth chart, I think he might be tight end 5. And, we're high up. I saw number 7, and Grover was in the play before. I thought it was him.
I took your advice, Chris.
They're really deep in that tight end room.
They really are.
I will say that.
Manny Covey, the running back in the backfield now. Lichtenberg's going to motion his wide receiver. Pull it. Now he's going to roll out to his right. Surveying. He's going to launch this one downfield and out of the reach of Joe Royer, who's the intended target.
I like the play design. Trying to get the ball to Royer. He goes across the field as Lichtenberg is rolling to his right. Try to improvise just a tad too much on that throw. It would have been a tough throw, but I do like the attempt at finding your big tight end, Joe Royer.
They are going to go for it here on 4th down. Covey still in the backfield. Trying to draw him off sides. Fake snap at first.
Play clock's at 6 seconds. Might be a bluff.
Lichtenberg motioned his man. Orbit. Now they'll hand off to Covey. He's got first down yardage and a little bit extra.
Like the play call. Keep it simple. 4th and 1. Just hand off the ball. That's all you need to do. A great job by the Bearcats and smart play decision by Scott Satterfield.
First down, Bearcats on the 46-yard line. Substitutions coming in. Lichtenberg ready to take the snap. Hands this one off. It's Covey again, breaking to the outside. Covey's got space, gets taken down. But the 45-yard line, maybe a little bit past. 2nd down and 1 after a 9-yard carry.
And Covey is another one of those running backs that Cincinnati has, and obviously with the way the depth chart goes, there's people play ahead of him, but this is a deep running back room for Cincinnati, especially when they lean on Corey Kiner. You can go with other guys like Pryor, Covey, and Chance Williams.
Bearcats substitute in another 2 tight ends. They're just motioning through them. Lichtenberg takes it, handoff. Covey again slips, now cuts up field. It'll be a gain of about 2.
It's our 19th first down of the game for the Bearcats.
First and 10 on the 42, Lichtenberg. Motions his tight end left. Fakes to Chance Williams. Now looking, he's going to take it himself. Taken down at about the 40-yard line.
No, it's a smart play when the play was kind of blown up dead a little bit. Great coverage by the Cougars defenders. Roll out and run it and get a few yards. It's better than taking the loss.
2nd and 8. Chance Williams in the backfield with Brady Lichtenberg. 2 wide receivers off to the left. Fakes to Williams. Roll out. Throw to the tight end. That one's caught. About first down yardage. Michael McCalman. Devin Zahersky, is a tight end. Like we mentioned, they've been rolling through all their tight ends, and all the numbers are pretty similar.
I mean, that's about the 6th tight end we've seen. Zahersky from Brio High went to Brio Mid-Park. He's a freshman for the Cats.
A little bit of a drive going here for Brady Lichtenberg. 3rd down and 1 on the 33. Motions his wide receiver in orbit. Now handoff Chance Williams. He's got space, breaking to the left. Williams one-on-one, breaks free. Now eventually taken down. It'll be Kendra Gant with the tackle, but not before Chance Williams gets him inside the red zone.
It's a great play call. It's a great run by Chance Williams, another one of those running backs we were talking about for the Bearcats. He just found a lane, made a cut, got the first down inside the red zone, and Bearcats are looking to add on to their 31-point lead.
The Houston Cougars have given up 349 total yards today. Could be 400 by the time this game is over.
Definitely could be.
Lichtenberg takes it. Hand off. Williams cuts to his left now, back up the middle, and taken down at about the 19-yard line.
It'd be interesting to see which direction the Bearcats go right here. Will they run it? They're going to pass it. It's about second and medium. The running game has been pretty solid, I'd say, this drive. 6 rushes for 33 yards, or make it 7 for 36 now with the updated stats. Just around 5 yards per carry. I wonder if they'll stick to it right here.
Victor Dawson, the running back in now for the Bearcats. Two wide receivers to the right. They'll hand off. They'll fake it. Lichtenberg looking to his sideline. He gets Burkhalter, breaks one tackle, cutting up, and he'll be taken down about the 6-yard line. First and goal for the Bearcats. Good play by Lichtenberg there.
Yeah, and great adjustment by Burkhalter. The throw wasn't on the money. Burkhalter had to adjust and recover it, but overall it's a first time for the Bearcats, and that's all you can ask for. Looking to punch it in right here.
Evan Prater subs in for wide receiver. The fan favorite, maybe a target here in the red zone. He's got one-on-one coverage on the sideline closest to us. 2 wide receivers to the left. Victor Dawson motions out. Lichtenberg takes a snap. He's going to run up the middle. Lichtenberg cutting up. Taken down at about the 3-yard line.
You know, Lichtenberg, he really isn't the fastest quarterback, but he's also a big quarterback. You know, maybe if that was Zeon Chris, he would have took that in for a touchdown with the athleticism he has. Not saying Lichtenberg isn't, but you know, you saw him just a little slower as a quarterback for the Cats.
Second and 2 on the 2. Bearcats looking to extend this lead. They've only scored 1 touchdown in the second half, no field goals.
How about 13 personnel?
We'll get whistles before the ball is snapped. Timeout, Scott Satterfield and the Bearcats didn't like the look that they got from the Houston defense. They'll talk something over. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Bearcats are up 31-0 and threatening to score again. They're on the 2-yard line, heading towards the student section. Media timeout at Nipper Stadium. We'll be back after a short break on Bearcast Sports Radio. back here in Nippert Stadium. Bearcats 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line. Dawson still the running back. Prater's got one-on-one on the left side. Motions Tony Johnson across. Fumbles the snap. Lichtenberg picks it up and is going to be brought down at about the 9-yard line.
Well, it definitely wasn't ideal if you're a Bearcats fan. You had at the 2, it's get pushed back to the 7. You probably got to imagine it's a pass play right here, but great opportunity the Bearcats had at the 2-yard line to go punch it in. Looks like it was going to be a designed run play for Dawson, but not the ideal play you wanted.
And so now backed up at the 7-yard line, 3rd and goal. Trips wide receivers to his left. Dawson still the running back. Lichtenberg takes it, surveying, facing pressure, dodges one, but can't dodge the entire Houston defensive line. He'll be brought down for a sack. Just the 2nd sack of the day for Houston.
Yeah, they've had trouble creating pressure the entire season coming into this matchup. I believe they've only had, 5 sacks coming into this matchup. 2 today, but it's going to be a focal point on getting pressure on the quarterback throughout the season.
Hawks on to kick this one. Trying to extend the Bearcats' lead by 3 more. Flags flying. I think the play clock might have hit 0. And it will be a delay of game by the Bearcats. That'll push Nathan Hawks back a little bit.
Special teams coach Kerry Coombs, he's upset. Look at him on the sideline about 32. He was irate at his special teams unit.
.34-yard attempt for Hawks. Puts this one up and through the uprights, extending the Bearcats' lead. Now 34-0. Defending their home turf at Nippert Stadium with a blowout.
Well, since 2000, they're going to be 111-34 here at Nippert Stadium. Talk about home
That's
field
ridiculous.
advantage.
3 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter. Cincinnati dominating the Cougars 34-0. They'll be receiving the football after a short media timeout on Bearcast Sports Radio. Back here as the Bearcats are ready to kick it away after a 34-yard field goal by Nathan Hawks.
I really like that drive. 15 plays, 52 yards, nearly 10 minutes of possession. Talk about a long, methodical drive for the Bearcats.
And, I mean, up 31 when they started that drive, you can just take as much time as you want down the clock.
You really can, and that was the goal, just milk as much clock as you could.
Hawks is going to send this one away. It'll be caught and attempt to be returned. Going to the right side is going to be brought down about the 20-yard line. Looked like Jordan Robinson got to him for the kick coverage. And timeout on the field here after the kickoff. 3 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the game. Bearcats lead 34-0. Chris, a dominating performance today from Cincinnati. What contributed to this game?
Well, I think it's got to be the offense. You look at their drives, especially in that first half. I said it before, I'll say it again. You take away the knee down to end the first half, they scored on 5 straight possessions, including 4 touchdowns. That's been the keys. The offense has been there. We saw Swordsy throw 2. We saw Connor have a nice 44-yard touchdown run. It's been the offense paving the way. Not only that, the defense too. We talked about Houston's struggles and the Bearcats' defense struggles. In this battle, they made it uncomfortable for Donovan Smith and this Houston offense to really get a rhythm going, and they forced turnovers too, which have paved the way for points. Bearcats, 14 points off of turnovers.
Yeah, they've been capitalizing off of those forced turnovers. Obviously, the interception and then the 2 fumbles by Rayshon Stanford have been tough points for the Cougars to get over. They have not been able to get over it. Down 34-0. They tried a quarterback change, and they still haven't scored any points. They've practically tried everything.
They really have, and it simply just wasn't their day. Simple as that. They want to get on their flight back to Houston ASAP and just forget this week ever happened as they fall to 1-3. But looking at the Houston team overall, as I mentioned, especially head coach Willie Fritz, he is 11-1 in his last 12 road games coming into this matchup. And the Houston Cougars itself, they have 11 road wins since 2021, which is 15th nationally. So they're a team that can play on the road, but simply today just wasn't their day.
Yeah, that one road loss for Willie Fritz was just a few weeks ago in Norman, Oklahoma.
In a game that was close. They
16-14.
Yeah. We
to
saw
a top
head coach
20 team in the country.
Brett Venables in the post-game interview. You could tell he's definitely upset. He said something in the lines of, that's a game that Houston easily could have won. We almost gave the way to them, as in Oklahoma.
Yeah, now just a few weeks passed, and they're down 34-0 to a Bearcats team that was picked to finish close to last in the Big 12.
And Houston's right behind him at, I think, 15th.
Houston taking the field. It's 1st and 10 from the 20. Deion Chris still in. He's going to fling this one out as a screen and dropped by Makai Muse.
And looking at the Houston schedule, they have one of the toughest schedules in the nation. I believe they're playing 5 of the top 5 teams in the Big 12 overall. So it's definitely going to be a season to keep an eye out for if you're Houston.
They're going to have to improve as the season goes if they want any chance of competing in some of those top Big 12 games. Chris looking downfield. He's going to throw short and dropped well behind with Steven Johnson.
Just not their day.
Just not their day.
Simple as that, not their day. They also struggled, last year against Cincinnati in the passing game. We saw Donovan Smith only 16 of 28, 102 yards, threw for 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 3 interceptions.
Overall passing, they're 13 of 21 for 92 yards and a pick. Chris with 19 of those yards. He's going to take it up the middle himself and be brought down for a loss. Zion Chris getting absolutely no running room. It's 4th down. They'll send on the punt team. Three minutes and ticking. Down under 3 now. Houston will send this one away back to the Bearcats. That one's skying high, and it's going to bounce and be fielded at about the 44-yard line. And the Bearcats will take over on offense. Their offense has been very solid today, putting up 356 total yards. Sorsby was very efficient passing, only 15 attempts, 12 completions, 188 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The rushing offense, 143 total yards. Kiner leads the way with 78.
Yeah, and looking at Sorsby, he started the game off blazing hot. I believe he went 9 for 10 with a touchdown or 2. You know, it's been an emphasis on getting up the great starts.
Lichtenberg still in at quarterback. He's going to hand this one off. Looks like Dawson got taken down after about a gain of 2.
And looking for the Bearcats, looking at this season, this team should be 4-0. They really should be. That loss to Pittsburgh really, really hurts now you look at it. They should be 4-0, and arguably they should be ranked. If they would have,
if they win that
Pittsburgh
football game and then win this one 4-0, they would definitely be receiving votes.
Yes. Even if it wasn't ranked, they definitely would have been in the consideration.
Just how one quarter can change how you view your season.
Yeah, and really that second half, especially the fourth quarter against Pittsburgh, you know, they're going to look back at that. And in Coach Satterfield and the players, you know, there's an emphasis of, you know, obviously the loss hurts, but you have to focus on your next opponent. You can't let that loss eat you up and affect you mentally. You really just have to focus on the next game because it's a long season. It's 14 weeks. You know, some teams get 2 bye weeks. You know, and it's really important to focus on your next opponents and forget about the past.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout here at Nippert Stadium, 34-0. Cincinnati dominating this one. They're looking to get their first Big 12 win of the year. In fact, about 2 seasons in the Big 12, the Bearcats have going to be 2 Big 12 wins, both against the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, that's, you know, both these teams have faced off a lot in the AAC and other conferences as well. I believe this is their 4th time being in a conference together. So, you know, 2 Big 12 wins, both coming against the Houston Cougars. You know, overall, a win is a win. You know, you can't complain about that. And, you know, hopefully this momentum carries them all the way to Lubbock, Texas in their matchup against Texas Tech next week.
Yeah, Texas Tech is an explosive offense. They'll have to stop quarterback Baron Morton. Running back Taj Brooks still have quite a bit to game plan for on the defensive end, but they can take a little bit of time to celebrate this one. We're getting on the Jumbotron basketball player Dan Skillings Jr. having a dance competition with the Cincinnati Bearcat.
I think the Bearcat won that one.
Dan called that one over. Bearcat won.
Dan Skilling 0.
Houston already back on the field. There's still about 35 seconds left in the media timeout. They're early, just looking to get this one over with.
Yeah, and really a first down should do it. You know, they're about 8-9 yards away, and they get a first down. They can just enter the best formation in football. Victory formation, just knee it out.
I don't expect Houston to be calling any timeouts at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them either.
Maybe just to be petty.
Oh, that might stir up some more drama.
2nd and 8. 2 minutes to go. Coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Dawson still the running back in. They'll motion Jackson. Now hand it to Dawson. Fighting through about 3 Cougar defenders. He'll be taken down, but not before a short gain of about 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Ball on the 49-yard line. Clock ticking down to just under 90 seconds left in the game. They'll bring in Gavin Grover, another tight end, presumably to help block and run this one for the 1st down, which would end the game and give the Bearcats a 3-1 record. They do hand off, goes to the right side, and he'll be brought down short of the first. A little bit of extracurricular activities down the field, no flag.
Bearcats, I think they should go for it right here. Put this game on ice.
There's no reason not to. You can take this clock down to 30 seconds, would be at the end of the play clock. They are going to stay on the field. Lichtenberg getting his guys set. Grover, the tight end, on the left side. They'll motion Barry Jackson. And a push at the center just knocks him right over. That will move the Cougars backwards.
You know, that, I said it a lot. That sums up Houston's performance today. That really sums it up.
Just straight pushes Evan Tangesdal on his back before he can even snap the football. 40 seconds left in the game. Bearcats get the 1st down. Lichtenberg ready to kneel this one and send the fans home. The fans who haven't gone home yet, send the rest of the fans home happy.
The foul includes a 10-second runoff option. Please reset the game clock to 30 seconds. The clock will start on my signal.
Referees just fixing the game clock. It won't matter in the long run.
In the long run, eh? 30 seconds left.
Lichtenberg will take it and will knee this one down. And that will do it. Cincinnati takes home their first Big 12 conference win of the year, improving their overall record to 3-1. 34-0 win over Houston. And the first FBS home win in the Scott Satterfield era.
That is crazy stat, conference win, but looking at the Bearcats, they've had a great performance. 34-0, and I think this has to be their first conference home win in general, maybe in 2 years. They were winless conference play last year. Couldn't really defend home turf, but they get it done today.
Taking home a dominating victory, 34-0. Their defense was stifling, letting up only 233 total yards, not even 100 passing yards, only 92 for the Houston Cougars. Meanwhile, the Bearcats offense, 362 total yards, 213 passing contributed by both Sorsby and Lichtenberg. 149 rushing yards. Corey Kiner led the way with 78, followed by Chance Williams, 38 yards.
And it's funny because coming into this game, the Bearcats allowed 902 passing yards, which was the second worst in the Big 12, and today they only allow 92.
The secondary did their job today and locked up quarterbacks Donovan Smith and Zion Chris. And the Bearcats can head to the locker rooms, celebrate their first Big 12 win of the season, and head home happy, celebrate the rest of your weekend.
Exactly. You know, coming in, you know, rest of this day, you celebrate that win. But tomorrow, you know, it's time to focus on Texas Tech. That's how it is in the Big 12. You have to focus on your next opponent. You can't overlook anyone.
Yeah, like you mentioned, their next matchup on the road in Lubbock, Texas for Texas Tech. The next home matchup back here at Nippert Stadium will be against Arizona on, I want to say, October 19th.
Correct.
October 19th returning. Of course, Bearcast Sports Radio will have coverage for that one. You'll have to wait a while. Bearcats high-fiving the student section, and they'll head to the locker room, and that will do it for us here on Bearcast Sports Radio. Once again, my name is Justin Dietrich. I was joined by Christian Pagan for a great day of football and a great win by Cincinnati. Any final words from you, Chris, before we leave this one off?
I just think, overall, it's a great effort by the Bearcats, and it's going to be a well-deserved win. It's been a while since this team has had a total team performance that results in a win. Overall, everyone looked good. It was a total team effort. Cincinnati back in the win column. It's all that matters. You end the week 1-0.
Thank you all for joining us on Bearcast Sports Radio, and we will catch you all for the next game.